The burning lakes. Tectonic disturbance rent open the ground where the croplands once met the witchwood, and here the flooding waters of the Stinkenblut mixed with mineral deposits in the substrata, forming a toxic expanse of bubbling acidic pools, salt fields, strangely eroded rock formations, and endless clouds of caustic vapors. Here, Udlanders and goblins have the punishing environment to harvest the bounty of useful mineral compounds, along with the organs of rare beasts that exist nowhere outside of this contaminated death zone. Beasts with tough, scaly hide and acid for blood. Among the most dreaded of fates known to befall those enslaved by the goblins is that of those pressed into labor at the salt mines and rock quarries of the burning lakes. Their only mercy, a short lifespan. All right, everybody, welcome back to Dungeon Degenerates, or welcome back to the Dungeon Dive and our playthrough of Dungeon Degenerates, the Hand of Doom. Okay, so if you remember last time, I know it's been a few days, but our two adventurers, the criminals on the lam, the vermin hunter, and the blood sport brawler, just finished up kind of an epic combat here in the burning lakes, and we survived. And the Bloodsport Brawler leveled up. However, we have a correction to make. So I chose Looter. Looter I cannot use as the Bloodsport Brawler because it requires me to be a merchant or a rogue. And she is a human fighter or a performer. So we're going to discard that. That costs 8. And instead, I'm going to pick Ferocious Charge. So this can be used as a quick action, and we have to be in the assault stance. And if it is your first turn after entering a fight, you may roll an additional power die when using a strength attack. Okay, so we'll just return the looter card here. And then one other thing I forgot to do is we had our first Doom token come on the board, and our Hand of Doom is out here. Whenever that happens, you have to shuffle the monsters from that land. So we have to shuffle the Badland monsters. Now, one of the reasons you do that is because at the beginning of a campaign, you actually pull out these 3 tougher monsters from the deck so you don't run into them in your first game or two. So now these all get shuffled back in with the monsters we've already fought to create a new deck of monster encounters. So let's just give those a quick shuffle there. Okay. So those go back into our holding spot there, and we're all ready. Okay, so we are at the map phase. So what do we need to do? Remember, we're kind of trying to get the stone circle to be our base of operations. So we need to get that up to a level 4 town. One of the best ways to do that is to have an encounter here and get this to 2 or lower, and that'll help raise that up 1. It is going to be a little more difficult to have an encounter here because the space has become safer. However, my guys are kind of messed up right now from that last fight, and we rested here, but we couldn't gain any health back because this is a perilous space. It's a perilous region there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up to Gutfish Ford. And I will take I will go into the bold stance, and I will move to Gutfish Ford as my movement. Because I can rest there, and it's not a perilous space anymore. And then I can get some health back. So I moved there, and now we do our danger phase. Now I'm going to draw a danger card, and hopefully nothing goes terribly awry. Whew, good thing we moved out of the burning lakes. Okay. Goblins, witches chant and call forth noxious horrors bubbling up from the burning lakes. Okay, so the burning lakes goes up to a 4. So if you remember, it was at a danger level of 3. We raised the danger level to 4. Now we're in a town. A town never has a danger level. A town has a town level. So we don't need to worry about the danger level on this card, because when we're in a town, we can't have an encounter unless it's a law town, in which case we can have a law encounter. Right, so that was the end of the danger phase. There is no encounter phase again, because we are in this town. And so we're at the top of the round at the map action phase. Now I'm going to stay in bold. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recover. So what you do is when you recover is you make a morale test. If you pass your morale test, you can recover your full morale worth of hit points. If you don't, you can recover half. So I'm going to do the Vermin Hunter first, and her morale is 6. So we're going to roll 2 dice here, and an 8. So nope, I can recover up to 3. So that's going to actually heal her completely. Oh, one other thing we forgot is there was a time in that combat in the last round where the Bloodsport Brawler should have actually taken 4 hits. Okay, so we were at 3, so she's going to go up to 7. But now we're going to try to heal her. She has a morale of 8. And I passed the test with a 5, so she can heal up to 8. So she is now completely healed up. Okay, we're in a much better situation now than we were. Now I can do any other of the map action phases that I want, or the rest action phases. I can explore. I can spend XP to improve. I can invest in a town, or we can trade. I guess we could try to trade. I don't want to spend too much of my money, because I want to spend $20, 20 of my gold, to invest in the stone circle, so we can make that our base. So let's see. Maybe I will trade. So trade, we have to be in the bold stance in a settlement, and we are. So I can buy cards from the loot deck equal to the town level of my space. The town level is 2. So let's draw 2 loot cards, and let's see if we want to buy any of them. Okay, the first is a medicine, a curative remedy formulated by an apothecary of the Worst Strike. Potent and possibly dangerous. Discard this card before rolling recovery to remove infected and discard a disease. After recovery, make a contest. If you fail, you become poisoned. And we found a flagon of ale. As a quick action, discard this card to become invigorated until the end of the fight and make a contest. If you pass, recover 1 wound, and if you fail, you become fatigued and suppressed. Okay, when we're resting, either in a settlement or in a camp, we can discard this card to make a contest. If you pass, recover 1 wound. If you fail, you become fatigued and suppressed. So we can drink this before a fight, basically, or at a camp, and maybe something cool will happen. To tell you the truth, I'm not going to buy either of those. I don't want to chance anything really bad happening. So we're just going to discard those and not worry about them. Okay, so that was our map action phase. We're not going to do anything else in this town. We're just kind of looking around. I want to head back to the stone circle. So the next thing we do is we draw a danger card. Heretical cults meet in secret to conduct blasphemous rites amongst the moss-covered branches of the Witchwood. Okay, so we look at the Witchwood here, and the Witchwood has a danger level of 4, so it raises to 5. I picked up these new little trays for some of the tokens in this game. They worked out pretty well. Although I don't know if once I have like the tokens all boxed up and the cards sleeved, I'm not sure if everything's going to fit back in the box. All right, so we raise the danger level here of the Witchwood to 5. Again, we're in a town, and so we don't have a danger level, so we don't need to have an encounter phase. We are relatively safe right now. Okay, so no encounter phase. We're at the top of the map action phase again. We're going to stay in bold stance. Now, because we explored this path at the end of our last video, this is now an explored path. So that means that in a map action phase, for my map action, I can do a forced march in bold, and I can actually go all the way through this path because we've already explored it down here to the sunken village. Okay. However, because we forced march, we do have to see if we became fatigued from that. So we have to pass a con test or else we become fatigued. So I'm going to roll for the Vermin Hunter. Her con is 6. All right, so she passes with a 4. The Brawler's con is a 9. Oh, the suspense. And a 6. Okay, so we do not become fatigued. We are now in the sunken village, and it has a danger level of 3. Now we are in bold, so I can try to force an encounter if the danger level is not low enough, or yeah. So I'm really hoping for a danger level of 4. Oh, nope. Okay, so the air feels thick and your hair stands on end. So the danger level is 5. If I did a hunt, I could lower that to a 4, which is not low enough. We don't raise the danger level anywhere on this card. All we do is we shuffle the danger deck. So we take all the cards that we've already gone through. Just quite a few, really. Okay, give that a cut. And a shuffle. Another cut. Okay, we're good. So again, no encounter phase. All right, well, let's see here. I really want to get this lowered to, I really want to get that lowered one more. So I'm going to camp out here in bold stance. There's no reason for me to roll a recovery roll because sometimes you have to roll a recovery roll even if you don't need to heal, simply because maybe something bad happens. I don't have anything that can happen that's bad. So we're just going to camp out. We're going to make a little camp in the sunken village and try to find some monsters to fight. So we're not going to do anything for our map action phase. Yeah, we're good for now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to head straight into the danger phase. All right, the Tunnel of Terror. All right, so here we go. The Tunnel of Terror has to raise. So it can't go up any more than 6. So that means we add a Doom token. And we have to add it as a yellow color. Add that to the Doom track. So now we have a red and a yellow. So the first thing let's do, so we don't forget, is let's take our Highland monsters, which the only Highland monsters we have to reshuffle in are the 3 strong monsters that I took out at the beginning of the game. That was quite a while ago, so you guys didn't see me take those out. Do that at the beginning of a campaign, so we're going to shuffle those in because I actually haven't even been up to that area yet at all in this game. Okay, so the next thing that happens is the Hand of Doom moves to the Tunnel of Terror. Okay, and then we draw a Doom card. Now I just want to double check that. So yes, after moving the Hand of Doom, draw and resolve a Doom card. When you draw a Doom card, first check that the hand's current space matches with one of the spaces listed on the card. So we need to find a Hand of Doom card, or Doom card, that has the Tunnel of Terror listed. So that's going to be a yellow card. Any Highland space, that works. Because the Hand of Doom is now in the Highlands. Rampant Violence, Doom, Highlands. That is a fungus card. Any Highland space. Mass hysteria grips the region and ordinary citizens form into roaming mobs of maniacs, robbing and murdering their neighbors. increase the danger level at the foothills and Pigskin Port. Okay, Pigskin Port is actually a town, so that actually goes down to 1. So Pigskin Port, the next time that lowers, that's actually going to become a dangerous spot. And then we also do it for the foothills, which is the general area. Right now it's at a 3, so that's going to go up to a 4. Okay, search the Highlands encounter deck for the Caravan and discard it. All right, so we're going to grab the Highlands encounter here. So the Caravan must be some kind of mostly good card. And the Caravan. I'll just pause that. If you wanted to read it, you can. And we're going to discard that. So we're just going to turn that face up at the back of the deck. Okay, now let's see what else here. In the Highlands, bandits have Berserk. Cards cost an additional 2 GP when you trade, and this remains in play. So we need to kind of stay out of the Highlands for a while, I guess. So now we look to see if we were in an explored or an unexplored place. We are in the Sunken Village. That space does not have an explored token on it. So we are at a danger level of 4. So I can actually lower that to 3 by doing a hunt action. And I do need to make sure I remember how to do that. So I really want to get this done because that way I can fight a monster here. So let me find that rule. Okay, hunt. Each adventurer in the party may attempt a perception test. Each adventurer in the party must declare whether they will attempt this test before anyone rolls. If more adventurers pass than fail, you may reduce the effective value of your danger card by 1. So I can lower this danger to a 3, so that way I can force an encounter. Since I'm playing with 2 heroes, or 2 adventurers, both of my adventurers have to pass a perception check. So the first one is going to be the Vermin Hunter with a perception of 8. No. Should I chance it? Try to re-roll with luck. No, I'm not going to. Well, okay, so that was a waste of a turn, kind of. So we're going to discard that danger card. We're in the encounter phase. We're still not having an encounter. So I think I'll try one more time here at this space before moving on, and maybe I'll just go back to the stone circle, pay, and then come back. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So my map action phase, I'm going to stay in bold. I'm going to move to the stone circle. And I will, I don't want to spend my money yet investing in a place just in case something really terrible goes wrong and I invest in a place that becomes unable to become my settlement. We could head down to the Black Tree. The Black Tree is at a 6. We do have better chances of getting this area, having an encounter there, but it will take us quite some time to get this to a 2 or lower. Unless we fight an epic monster there, if we happen to draw an epic monster there and we beat the epic monster, that space automatically goes down to a 1 danger level. Well, we could chance that, I guess. Okay, so as a forced march, we are going to move to the stone circle. We have to test our constitution. Vermin Hunter has a con of 6. Okay, she becomes fatigued. Let me find the fatigue marker. Okay, so she cannot force march until she rests. And the Brawler has a constitution of 9, so she is okay to force march again. Danger phase. So we are in a town, so we're not actually going to have an encounter, but let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Okay, the Witch Wood again. We just had this card. So the Witch Wood will go up to 6 now. Danger level of 4. We're in a town. We're in a settlement, so we don't have a danger level, and so we're good. All right, map action phase. I'm going to stay in bold, and I'm going to move on to this path here. So now we're in the Rotting Swamp. The Rotting Swamp has a danger level of 3. So we're going to draw our danger card. And the foothills. Robbers, mutants, and worse harass travelers on the wind-blown highland roads of the foothills. Okay, so we're at the foothills. The foothills is going to go up to 5 now. Oh boy, lots of things are getting really dangerous here. It's one of those games where as things build up, I think that the end snowballs, and it quickly comes. So now we check our danger level. We are outside, so this symbol is outside, and it's at a 6. And our danger level right now is a 3. So again, no encounter. We've pretty much avoided, even if we wanted to or not, all encounters in this game, in this session. So I'm sorry if it's a little boring to watch, but that's how things go sometimes. All right, so now, let's see, should I rest? No. We're gonna just switch to cautious. There's no reason to be in bold because I can't force march, and there's no reason to force march. So we're going to move to the blackened tree. I wanted to look up. So here is a nice big picture of the blackened tree from the Tomb Lake and the Wetlands Guide. Let's see what we can find on the blackened tree here. I should have marked the spot, but I forgot to do that. I did want to read it though. All right, the black tree. Deep in the swamp stands an ancient dead tree, rotten and black. It towers over the surrounding landscape. Though it is thoroughly riddled with rot, it has stood for untold years, bolstered by unknown forces. Old wives' tales about the tree claim the damned write their sins on scrolls and hang them from the branches of the massive dead tree. Its limbs absorb all the sins of these heretics, transforming it into a twisted thing of pure evil. Others claim that the scrolls hanging from the branches are in fact penned by the dreaded swamp witch, Filth Patina. Lists of names of the children she has stolen away from the people of Gutfish Ford, inscribed on the flayed skin of her victims. Ordinary Guthers avoid this accursed place, but the warlocks and witches meet secretly beneath its twisted boughs to consort with the spirits, divine the future, and practice other heathen magics. Scattered around the mighty trunk of the black tree are the piled, scattered bones of sacrifices and other evidence of worship accumulated over the years. All right, so that sounds like a pleasant place to be. Okay, so now we're here. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some kind of fight. Maybe it'll be an epic fight. Let's see what it is. We're going to draw our danger card. And we're going to raise the danger level at Tower Island. So Tower Island is going up to 6 here. We're not in a law space, so we don't have to worry about that. We do have a danger level of 2. And our danger level of our space is 6, so we are going to have an adventure or an encounter. It's not a very deadly encounter though, so there's no non-combat encounter, and we only draw 1 monster. And we draw our monster from the wetlands, and we find the bird horror. I think we've already fought this guy. All right, so he's a filth. He has 2 XP. He's worth 1 gold. He attacks, or he targets the adventurer with the lowest perception. So that is going to be the Bloodsport Brawler. And he has the Fury ability. So let me remind myself what that is. Fury. While the monster has 1 or more wound on it, it has +1 attack. So it has a health of 8. And it attacks for 5. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. So So we go in perception order. So that means the vermin hunter is going to go first. Again, she's going to find the weakness. She's going to scan this bird horror and find the chink in its armor. So she has to take a perception test. Her perception is 8 and a 4. So she found the weak spot of the bird horror. Perhaps it's right under its nasty beak is a fleshy piece of skin that needs to be attacked. And now she's going to make her attack. So she's going to stay in assault because she doesn't need to guard. She has a +1 agility, and her attack is with the rat spike, which is an agility reach attack. So her agility right now is 9 because of her combat reflexes. And she rolls a 5. And then her power die is a 5. So she can use her power die as her attack value. So she's going to do 5 points of damage. Excellent. Almost as good as it could be. Next up is the brawler. I'm going to go ahead and stay in assault stance so I can use my ferocious charge. So this is a quick action. If it is your first turn after entering a fight, you may roll an additional power die when using strength attacks this turn, okay? Also, foe killer. Your melee attacks against targets with an XP value of 2 or more inflict +1 damage. So I get to roll 2 power die. And I am in attack, assault, so I'm using a strength of 8. And my agility is 8 for dodging. Actually, my strength is 9. All right, here we go. So we're looking for, okay, my agility is 8. I rolled a 9, so I don't dodge the attack. Oh man, what a terrible roll. Okay, so that's what we're at right now. I completely flubbed everything. And I'm wondering if I want to use a point of luck, because I am going to take 5 points of damage here. Let's see here. You know what? No, I'm fine. I'm just going to take the damage. I'm going to save my luck. So the Bloodsport Brawler is at 5 points of damage. She completely screwed up her attack there. That's fine though. So we're going to go back to the Vermin Hunter. Again, the Vermin Hunter is going to be an assault. And I get a +1 agility, so I'm looking to test a 9 here. And oh, barely. So there's my 9. Power dice is 4. I'll hit with 5 points of damage, killing the bird horror. Okay, so her find weakness skill goes back. I actually kind of wanted the Vermin Hunter to kill the bird horror because she will get 2 XP. So that brings her up to 9. So once you get higher XP, it's easier to buy skills. So we can look through the skill deck possibly. And she also gets 1 gold. Unfortunately, I am at the, you can only have up to 21 gold. So that gold is lost. But now I take a loot test, and I'm looking for a roll of a 1 or a 2. Nope. So no loot. And that was that. All right, well, I think we're going to call it there for this video. I was really hoping we could have had that encounter here. So we could have possibly, so actually, you know what? If I would have stayed there, we would have had that encounter. Right? Yep. Never move. It's like changing lanes at the supermarket. Never do it. Yeah, that was unfortunate. We could have had the end of our scenario right now. However, we're at the black tree, perhaps looking at these scrolls written with the sins and whatever, trudging through the knee-deep piles of bone and scattered detritus. And maybe we're going to make our way back up next time. I'm really not sure. But whatever happens, I'm sure it will be adventurous. So, all right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.